Before there was time, before there was sound, before there was even a whisper of life, there was nothing. No light, no sky, no sea. Only a deep, boundless emptiness and silence that stretched into eternity. But in that silence, God was there. He hovered over the dark waters, watching. And then, with power beyond all imagination, God spoke. A single command pierced the darkness. God's voice echoed, "Let there be light." And suddenly the universe trembled into motion. Darkness fled, and light, pure, radiant, beautiful light, filled the void. A blinding burst of light flooded the scene. God saw that the light was good. He separated it from the darkness, calling the light day, and the darkness night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. On the second day, the voice of God thundered again. God's voice echoed, "Let there be a space between the waters, to separate the waters of the heavens from the waters of the earth." And it was so. The sky stretched wide and blue, the first heaven. Winds rush, mist swirls upward, and God called the space sky. On the third day, the Almighty commanded again. God's voice echoes, "Let the waters beneath the sky be gathered into one place, so dry ground may appear." And God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters seas. The earth trembles, waves draw back, continents rise. Then God spoke once more, and from the earth's soil life began to sprout. Green shoots pierced the ground, forests rose, flowers blossomed, seeds began their endless cycle of growth. And God saw that it was good. On the fourth day God looked upon his creation and said, "Let lights appear in the sky to separate the day from the night." And so the sun blazed forth to rule the day. The moon took her place to rule the night. And across the heavens billions of stars began to shine, each one crafted by his hand. From the smallest spark to the mightiest sun, all were good. On the fifth day, creation took on a new sound, the sound of life. God's voice echoed, "Let the waters swarm with living creatures. Let the skies be filled with birds of every kind." And the waters danced with life. The skies sang with wings, and the earth rejoiced. The ocean churns with whales, fish and creatures unknown. Flocks of birds rise into the sky. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply." On the sixth day God said, "Let the earth produce every kind of living creature, livestock, wild animals, and everything that crawls." And so it was. From lions to lambs, from the smallest ant to the great elephant, life filled the land. But creation was not yet complete, for God had saved his most precious work for last. God's voice echoed, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." And from the dust of the earth, God formed a man with his own hands. He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. He named him Adam. Then, seeing that man should not be alone, God caused him to sleep deeply, and from his side formed a woman, and Adam called her Eve. Together they were blessed, the first humans, made to rule over creation and walk in perfect harmony with God. And on the seventh day, when all was complete, God looked upon his creation, the seas, the skies, the stars, and humankind, and saw that everything he had made was very good. So God rested, not because he was weary, but to set apart this day as holy, a symbol of peace, balance, and completion. And there, in the heart of creation, God planted a garden, Eden, a paradise filled with rivers, trees, and every good thing. He placed man and woman there, to walk with him, to care for the garden, and to live forever in his presence. The birds sang, the rivers sparkled, the wind danced through the leaves, and all was perfect. This was how the world began, with God's voice, his breath, and his boundless love. And so, the story of creation reminds us of this truth, that everything we see, every heartbeat, every sunrise, exists because God spoke, and his word still echoes today. If you love biblical storytelling, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to inspire others. Thank you for watching.